The phone's glow was the only light in the kitchen, a cold blue flicker cutting through the dark. Meet me at the usual place. 10 p.m. Don't tell him. My stomach twisted as I stared at the message. My thumb hovered over the screen, heartbeat pounding so hard I could barely hear the hum of the refrigerator. It wasn't my phone, it was Sarah's, face up on the counter, vibrating like a warning. I'd only reached for it to silence the noise, half asleep, assuming it was spam. But those words, they burned into me, every letter sharp and final. I set the phone down carefully, hands shaking. Down the hallway, soft snores drifted from our bedroom. Sarah, my wife, my partner of 8 years, my comfort and chaos, was sleeping soundly, unaware that a single text had just cracked something open inside me. The air grew heavy, thick with dread. Even the house seemed to hold its breath. I didn't confront her. Not that night. I poured a glass of whiskey instead, the burn in my throat a weak attempt to drown the ache in my chest. I sat in the dark, watching the minutes crawl toward dawn, wondering when everything had started to slip. By morning, she was radiant, humming as she poured coffee, kissing my cheek like nothing had changed. "You look exhausted," she said, her smile soft, almost too soft. "Work getting to you again?"
Work. Guilt. Pity.
I couldn't tell which laced her tone. "Yeah," I lied, forcing a smile. Long night. I watched her move through our routine. The keys, the mirror check, the toss of her auburn hair catching the light. God, she looked beautiful. Beautiful enough to make me doubt what I'd seen. As she stepped out the door, she called, "Love you." The words hit like a slap. That evening, she dropped a sentence I'll never forget. We were half watching a movie when she said, almost idly, "Friends are forever, Ben. Husbands, they come and go." She laughed, but her eyes didn't. I stared at her, searching for the woman I thought I knew. "Loyalty matters too," I said quietly. Her smile twitched, faltered, and then she changed the subject. That was the first crack. I didn't argue. Not yet. Instead, I matched her game. If friends were forever, I'd have plenty. I started saying yes to every invite, every chance to be out. Drinks after work. Hiking with old classmates. A book club I didn't even like. Soccer on weekends. Brunches. Trivia nights. I filled my calendar until my evenings blurred together. Every time I left, Sarah would watch me with something sharp behind her smile. "Another night out?" she'd ask. "Gotta invest in forever," I'd say lightly. At first, it was rebellion. Then it became something else. The laughter, the easy company, the feeling of being wanted. It reminded me what peace used to feel like. Meanwhile, Sarah started retreating. Her girls' nights vanished. Her phone stayed face down. One night, when I was grabbing my jacket, she snapped, "You're never home anymore. It's like I don't exist to you." I almost laughed at the irony. "I'm just making friends," I said evenly. "You said they're forever."
Something in her broke right then.
Her eyes widened, not guilt, but fear. For the first time, she realized she wasn't in control anymore. 6 weeks later, the truth surfaced, not with fireworks, but in silence. I came home early. The house was dark except for the faint light of the living room. Sarah was curled on the couch, phone in hand, tears streaking her face. She didn't notice me as she typed, deleted, and typed again. The screen glowed just enough for me to see the name. Mark. The coworker she'd mentioned in passing, always with a casual laugh. The charming one at the Christmas party, the one who made everyone feel special. "Sarah," I said quietly. She jumped, dropping the phone. Panic flooded her face. That was all the confirmation I needed. "It's not what you think," she stammered.
But it was.
She didn't deny it when I asked if she'd been with him. She just cried. Words poured out, fragments of apology, guilt, excuses. How it started as harmless fun. How she felt unseen. How he made her feel alive again. Every word was a blade. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she sobbed. "I love you, Ben. I got lost." "Lost," I said, voice shaking. "You don't get lost by accident. You walk there." She reached for me, But I stepped back. Her phrase echoed in my mind. Friends are forever. Husbands come and go. It wasn't just the affair that shattered me. It was the way she'd rewritten the value of us, made our marriage sound like an option instead of a promise. I didn't leave that night. I lay on the couch, staring at the ceiling, drowning in silence. By morning, I knew what I had to do. I packed a small bag, not to end things, just to breathe. When I reached the door, she grabbed my arm, eyes red and desperate. Please, Ben, we can fix this. I'll end it with him.
I'll do anything.
I looked at her, the woman who'd once been my home, and said softly, Forever is supposed to include your partner, Sarah. You forgot that. Then I walked out. The door clicked shut, sharp and final. The morning air was cold, biting, honest. For the first time in months, I could breathe. Maybe we'd never find our way back. But as I stood there, watching the light spill over the horizon, one truth finally settled deep in my bones. I deserved more than a love that wanders.